here's my theory, fan theory right here. What if Shell was Caroline's daughter?
Yeah.
That could be why Gladys is so obsessed with her.
Because it's bring your daughter to work.
To work day. Yeah. Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
So we'll take our residual checks for Portal 3. Okay, here's a couple of stories. I'm going to read them both, and then we can discuss them. Because I don't believe these are unique stories. And again, I'm going to butcher these names. So, Ariel Bonici, 26, of Huntington, New York, responsibly arrived at the North Point Police Department and Village Justice Court on December 4th to answer a summons issued in May for possession of marijuana. But before she could park her car, Bonici, who was on the phone, attracted the attention of officers by cutting off an unmarked police vehicle and wheeling into a spot reserved for the chief of police. The local paper reported that when officers approached the car and she rolled down her window, a cloud of marijuana smoke poured out. She was promptly arrested for possession again, along with getting a ticket for using her cell phone while driving. But she was able to kill two birds with one stone when she appeared in court that day for both charges.
Well, and then, at least she was already there.
Just a couple of days later, in Newberry, South Carolina, a 31-year-old man appeared at his trial for his third charge of possession of methamphetamines. As the first day of the trial came to a close, the news reported that he was ordered into custody, but when the sheriff's deputies searched him before locking him up, they found
marijuana.
4 grams of meth in his pocket.
Oh, meth.
Oh, meth.
Let's just go to court for meth, carrying meth.
Didn't I send you?
He needs meth to get through his meth trial.
About these grandparents that were arrested.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. Without knowledge of this new meth, he was still sentenced to 9 years in prison.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, tell us about that article.
I sent an article, and it was very brief, but it was an elderly couple that was pulled over while driving through Texas from one of the other weed legal states that was on their way to have Christmas with their family. And I don't remember the exact amount, but it was enough to fill up a dining room table and then some of weed in bags. And when the police asked them why they needed all of that, their Christmas presents.
Christmas presents.
Oh, I did see. That was...
Okay. Yeah, I sent that to the group.
That was near here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just like about an hour away down in like Grand Prairie.
Public service announcement for those listeners that happen to be in weed legal states. If you have it, do not drive through Texas. Just save yourself the trouble and go around.
The highway patrol in Texas see your plates and they pull you over.
They will profile you if you have Colorado plates.
Yeah. If you're driving an SUV with tinted windows and Colorado plates through the state of Texas, you're going to get pulled over. Yeah.
Sorry. Here's another question from Reddit. It really kind of makes you think. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Cats.
Mm-hmm.
Cats. Yeah.
Geese.
I think
pigeons.
I think cats are the right answer.
I think cats.
Geese. Geese are the come at me bro animals of the animal kingdom.
I think geese would be the meanest, but mean and rude are two. Cats would be very catty.
They would be like cutting with their words. Cats would be. They're arrogant. They think they're better than you. And
I feel like they would be extremely passive aggressive.
Yes. They would be the kings and queens of backhanded compliments. They'd be like, "You're looking nice today, Susan," for a fat girl.
Now, dogs, on the other hand,
dogs are like drunk party girls who tell you how pretty you are and tell you that you're perfect, and they love you so much.
Dogs be rubbing up on you going, I just love you so much. I just love you. Oh, would you do that scratching thing you're doing right there? Yeah, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. Oh, I love you. You're the best. That's dogs. Dogs are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cats are not.
What about birds?
Pigeons.
I'm going to
It's
poop
like,
on your car.
It's like what's his name? The comedian. Gosh.
I think it depends on the bird.
Here's facts
Yeah,
about
that's
birds
true.
that nobody ever needed to know, but somehow I do. Birds don't have round ligaments, so that's why they poop on everything. They have no control about when that comes out.
And on this episode of Random Nonsense,
I don't remember how I learned that, but I know that.
I think you're right. I think pigeons would be kind of rude.
There'd be the New Yorkers.
pigeons are the New
They're
Yorkers.
the-
Hey,
they're-
I'm walking here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big noggin.
And
the
seagulls?
the pigeons from Bolt
Yeah.
is what I envision.
Seagulls, on the other hand, I think Finding Nemo's got it right with not pigeons, seagulls. Did I say seagulls? I
Yeah.
said seagulls. Okay. Finding Nemo's got it right with seagulls. There will be the ones that are yelling, mine, mine, mine.
George
That's definitely
Carlin
right.
said
George
that
Carlin.
pigeons walking down the street, they won't get out of your way. They will walk out of your way and turn around and give you a bad look. It's like that.
If they could flip you the bird, they would be.
They'd just flip themselves.
They'd flip you them.
But then there would be cockatiels and stuff, who I think would be very polite, very kind.
I think cockatiels would be very narcissistic.
See,
Look at me, I'm a pretty birdie.
I've had a cockatiel. They're very attention seeking. They're like moody teenage girls, I feel like, or at least the one I had was.
Have you guys seen the video? There's a cockatiel that is running around the house just squawking nonsense, and they have it subtitled, and it is hilarious. My son can actually quote this entire thing.
Oh, that's
It's
a
so funny.
cockatoo.
It's cockatoo. I thought that was a cockatiel.
Cockatiel are the smaller ones with the little.
Oh,
Yeah, I've had a cockatiel.
okay.
Cockatoo, different.
My bad. But yeah, so the cockatoo is running around just squawking nonsense, and they have it subtitled, and it's really hilarious.
I like the one where the cockatoo comes in and knocks over the stacked cups and has to knock over the towers of all of them, just takes them all apart. I think deer would be like the mall walkers. You're just in their way and they're going to give you dirty looks and be like, I'm on your left. Or runners, like runners in busy cities where they're like, on your left. That's deer.
I don't care for deer.
Yeah.
Unless it's cooked in
They're
a stew.
tasty, yeah.
tasty animals.
So, Laura, here's a news article that you might find particularly interesting. This is from Russia. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce any of the names or places. But it says Popeyes' preferred diet of spinach to pump up his biceps had to be healthier than what a Russian man had been injecting. This 21-year-old man from southwestern Russia concocted a dangerous muscle-enhancing solution of olive oil, lidocaine, and benzyl alcohol, and injected it into his arm muscles, resulting in bazooka arms that doctors say may become paralyzed or even have to be amputated. So far, he has used 6 liters of fluid, and his biceps measure 23 inches. But he plans to continue until they reach 27.
So
He says,
His biceps, the muscles aren't growing. He's just putting more fluid into them.
yeah.
he says, I would like to get more than 1 million subscribers on Instagram and to stop working. He's considering an offer to become a porn star. And he says, I would love to be recognizable.
For being the biggest idiot
I
in
imagine
Russia.
he's recognizable.
I was going to
Yeah.
say,
If you
he's-
saw that guy, I
that's-
bet you would remember him.
that's recognizable for the wrong reasons.
Okay. As a nurse, I've seen people do some really stupid stuff in the name of homeopathy. Like this whole thing, like it's a WTF. Like when I hear this, it's just me thinking that. And your arms aren't getting bigger because the muscles are growing. You're just putting lots of fluid in them. And the lidocaine, you need that because that's going to burn.
Well, that was
Oh.
my first thought is like, does he actually think that injecting the solution is giving him muscle.
Probably.
Found a picture.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
That dude.
He is just like one step away from getting a major infection and losing both his arms.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so a friend of mine sent me a video the other day that it was this guy getting a really massive, nasty wound cleaned out. And what a lot of IV drug users don't realize is that if you don't hit that vein, the drug turns your flesh like just necrotic.
What the heck?
They already look like they're getting infected. That looks like cellulitis to me.
And
I want to describe.
Good.
I want to describe this gentleman. He's a rather skinny gentleman.
He's scrawny, okay?
He's very scrawny.
Excuse the expression, but he is scrawny AF, okay? He is scrawny.
His biceps are now the size of his head.
Oh, yeah.
And
But it's not
bigger.
muscle.
And is extremely disproportionate to the rest of
It
his body.
looks like Popeye's forearms.
Well, you know what they remind me of? They remind me of size, or well, the shape and the color remind me of giant sweet potatoes.
Yeah,
There we
like
go.
that's
I was
why.
trying to- I was
That's
trying
what
to
they
think of
remind
what-
me of.
Yeah.
Giant sweet potatoes.
And if you're any of your extremities start looking the color of sweet potatoes, you got some cellulitis.
That's a problem.
Oh, he's gonna lose his arms.
He's apparently not the brightest bulb in the package.
Yeah. Oh man.
We found one person on Earth that I'm smarter than, and it's that guy.
Kids,
Honey, you're smarter than a good portion of the people I see.
kids, don't do this.
Oh man,
Don't.
bad idea.
Just say
If you're
no
gonna
to
follow
lidocaine.
Any life lessons that we try to instill in this show, which none of our advice should be followed. The one thing is, don't inject stuff into your body unless it's like medicine your doctor has prescribed to you.
That's the one piece of advice
You can't.
that it's
follow.
okay to follow from us.
Yeah, I can give that advice legally. Oh, he just showed me another picture of him, and his arms are purpley, and it just
Lord.
he's gonna lose those.
Well, here's we all love dogs. Here's a fun dog story.
Yay.
Dovey, I think I'm pronouncing that right. The shar-pei
I love shar-peis.
from Edmond, Oklahoma, might be just a bit jealous of the new baby at his owner's home. But in a classic passive-aggressive move, he settled on stealing pacifiers.
I've heard this story.
Scott Rogers and his wife noticed that binkies were disappearing. But it wasn't until Dovey started vomiting and losing weight that they tracked down the lost items. They did an x-ray of the dog's stomach and saw what they thought were 7 to 9 pacifiers. They did surgery and they pulled out 21.
Yeah.
Oh.
21. He was eating the pacifiers.
I have a similar story. One of my coworkers recently paid $3,000 at the vet because her dog was eating ponytail holders and became very sick all of a sudden. And they removed a Walmart bag full. She showed us a picture of a gallon Ziploc bag full of these hair ties that the dog has just been consuming over the last several months. I love my animals, but $3,000 to remove hair ties from a dumb dog's stomach who's going to continue to eat hair ties if you leave them out.
Yeah.
Not happening.
No.
Not so much.
No. Don't love my dog. I can put a monetary amount on how much I love my dogs.
And
Yep.
Allison, if
Way
you're
less than that.
listening, I love you, girl. I'm not paying for my dog to have surgery.
So let's ask this question before we wrap up here. And this might get a little hairy with our listeners. So, and if you have an opposing view, please let us know. Put it in the comments. Email us. Email us.
Email us.
Twitter us.
What's up?
Whatever. We're easy to get a hold of. What video game is seriously overrated?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Wow.
So I'm going to just dive in real quick. Say League of Legends.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, I've never played it,
I haven't. I don't get it.
but those type of games just don't.
Free to play games like that, I feel like favor people who want to throw money. And that if you don't have money to throw at it, you're just not going to be as good as everybody else because you don't have the armor, you don't have the stuff. I hate that style of game, the free-to-play MMOs. And
that's not an MMO, though. It's basically a battle royale.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Massively online battle arena or something.
Battle
Yeah.
arena, yeah.
Yeah.
MOBA.
MOBA. But that sort of idea, like, it sounds good. Like, it sounded good to me when, I was going through school because it's free to play. And I can level up by putting in hours and, doing things. But you got to throw money at it or you're just not going to be able to hold your own. I hate that concept.
I would say my overrated game is probably Final Fantasy. It's insanely overrated. I don't get the appeal.
I forget which Final Fantasy it was. It was on the original PlayStation. So
7.
Probably 7.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I got a hold of a copy somehow. It may have been a friend or something, but I put it in thinking, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. 30 minutes later, I still hadn't done anything. And I'm like, if I wanted to watch a movie,
That's what it is.
I would have just watched a movie.
Too many cutscenes.
There's too many cutscenes, and then the turn-based play is really, the way they do it is really bizarre. It doesn't make sense. What were you going to say, Keelan? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Like you're talking about the Final Fantasy of the old, from Super Nintendo and original PlayStation and all those games where it was a different time in video games and it seemed to work better that way. But today I don't get it at all. I mean, I did play 7 all the way through and enjoyed that game. That was one of the most popular ones. But nowadays I would never play one of those games.
Yeah. Another thing, I probably, again, I haven't played one in years, but I would say most of the new Call of Duty games, just because
I think Call of Duty is overrated anyway.
Yeah, that
personally.
That to me, Call of Duty is probably right up there because it's not my jam at all. Possible unpopular opinion, Pokemon Go.
I concur.
I enjoyed it in the beginning, and there were some things about the raids and stuff that I really enjoyed. But in order to play it the way that a lot of people I know play it, that has to be all you do in your downtime. Is just go and...
I could not get into it at all. There was not a moment. I tried. I really did. I tried. I caught a couple of Pokemon in my living room, caught a couple in my front yard, but it just...
It was fun to play with the kids because we live close enough to several Pokestops that, like, we could walk within a few blocks, hit a bunch of Pokestops, and, like, play. And it was casual. But then they started adding in the raids and raid passes and all of that. And it was one of those things that I couldn't play casually. And the people that I also played that with, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, my brother ruined it for me. So it became very competitive. And that's just not how I like to play.
As a fan of the original Pokemon series, to me, it's almost a mockery of what Pokemon was meant to be. It's... no.
I feel like it could be, it's still fun if you can play it casually. But if you're going to be very competitive and I've got to have like the best stuff from all the gyms and all that, it's just, it's gotten so unfun for me. I've just taken it completely off my phone.
So one more quick news story here, just because I love stupid criminal stories.
I love these.
So this 20-year-old guy handed tellers at a bank in Connecticut a note demanding money. He apparently failed to notice that his note was written on the back of his girlfriend's pay stub. And when he returned to the bank, presumably to retrieve the note, it was closed. Police tracked him down as he was trying to leave his girlfriend's house. The hat he wore during the robbery and, quote, a large amount of $10 bills were found in the car. And he was charged with first-degree robbery.
I saw one the other day where somebody stole a credit card and then ordered a delivery pizza
I saw that too.
at their
Delivered
house.
to their house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody stole my brother's credit card information and ordered a bunch of stuff from Amazon and had it shipped to their
I've
house.
had it happen too.
You know, this day and age, I have a hard time understanding how anybody can get away
Right.
with that kind of thing.
Unless you're out of the country, how do you get away with it?
I had a roommate that stole somebody's credit card number one time, and she would have things delivered to us with money put in to the things and play it off like somebody was delivering flowers to her or something like that, and it'd have money in there. Nope, it was her.
Wow.
So, well,
She got caught.
Don't be a dumb criminal.
Yeah.
We hope that you have enjoyed this.
Don't wait. Let's don't be a criminal.
Yeah, okay.
Well, okay, if you're going to be a criminal, you got to be a criminal mastermind.
Don't be a criminal.
Don't be a criminal. We hope that y'all have enjoyed. If you're enjoying this, leave us some comments, send us some messages, and real quick, let's talk about what we got going on outside of the 4NerdsCast. So, Keelan and the wife, what do you got going on?
We are we're getting into the Fallout 3 series is still going on. You'll need to check it out because it is so much fun. It's so much fun.
And what is that on?
What
Two
channel?
Mere Mortals.
Yep.
It's on
The-
Two Mere Mortals,
The number 2.
the number 2. And of course, you can always check out my vlogs over on the Jen Dimas.
And very shortly, Laura and I will have our new series going. It'll be a podcast too.
Yes.
So that'll be fun. Again, like we do, we want to leave you with something to ponder.
Some sort of question to get those creative juices going.
Right.
Something to make you go,
This week, people who stop at red lights in GTA, why do you do this? We will see you next time on the 4NerdsCast.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I feel like our children are having a rave in the other room or something.
probably.